House Intelligence Committee Chairman Adam Schiff is getting called out for comments he made about the whistleblower. In fact, the Washington Post fact checker giving him 4 Pinocchios for falsely claiming that his panel had not spoken to the person behind the complaint, which set off the impeachment inquiry. Joining me now is Marc Thiessen, a Fox News contributor and fellow at the American Enterprise Institute. Marc, I'm going to get your take, but let me first read to you. Adam Schiff tweeted a response to the New York Times article saying this, that when a whistleblower seeks guidance, staff advises them to get counsel and go to an inspector general. That's what they're supposed to do. Unlike a president pressing a foreign leader to dig up dirt on a political opponent, that's not what a president is supposed to do, and we all know it. But Schiff, if you're going to go down this road and you're not really fully open and transparent about what happened, then you're going to end up with 4 Pinocchios from the Washington Post, which does not help your case.
Yeah, let's just go into what Adam Schiff said. So a month before this all came out, Adam Schiff knew that there was a whistleblower who had information on a privileged conversation between the president and the Ukrainian leader, and he was asked about it on Morning Joe, and he looked the American people straight in the eye and he said, "We have not spoken directly to the whistleblower." That's just flat out untrue. Mm-hmm. And then a few days later, he was at a press conference on Capitol Hill, and he said that had it not been for the Inspector General, we might not have even known there was a whistleblower complaint alleging an urgent concern. That's just a flat-out lie. You know, people are running around complaining about Mike Pompeo dodging questions and not answering, letting people know that he was on the call. He artfully dodged a question. Adam Schiff flat-out lied to the American people.
And got caught out for it. So moving on, though, now we have this. And then yesterday evening, there were drips and drabs out of the Volker testimony. Yeah. Now, that's the guy that spent 9.5 hours behind closed doors. He was special envoy to Ukraine. Yeah. He resigned last Friday. So there were only these drips and drabs of it. Today, as Mike Emanuel just reported, Fox News was the first to get the entire transcript, or at least the text messages, and that then provides additional context. So again, we see another one of these instances where how are people supposed to make a reasonable conclusion based on drips and drabs, which is the same thing Democrats complained about when Attorney General Barr released the summary of the Mueller report.
No, it's exactly right. Adam Schiff, when Mueller submitted his report to Attorney General Barr, and he released a summary while scrubbing it for classification, Adam Schiff said that's not good enough, and he actually threatened enforcement action against Barr if he didn't immediately hand over the unredacted full Mueller report, which, by the way, cleared Donald Trump of collusion or conspiracy with Russia, which Adam Schiff had been lying to the American people, saying that he had evidence that there was conspiracy and collusion. But putting that aside, so now we have this testimony by Kurt Volker for 9 hours, in which everybody in the room, all the Republicans in the room, said it completely undermined the Democrats' narrative. And instead of releasing the full testimony, he releases some selective text messages, which, by the way, don't even prove his case, because there's a quote from Ambassador Sunderland saying the president's been crystal clear, no quid pro quo.
Of course, that was on in September, after the White House had known for a month that the whistleblower complaint was coming. So I guess we'll wait for information on that. I do want to ask you about Congresswoman Tlaib. Basically, I think that she's a little off message when it comes to what Nancy Pelosi wants to do. Listen to what she thinks should happen.
This is the first time we've ever had a situation like this. So they're trying to figure out, no joke, they're trying to figure out, well, is it the D.C. police that goes and gets them? No, where do we hold them?
No joke. Marc Thiessen?
Congress has no authority to arrest executive branch officials. I'm terribly sorry. They're not going to be doing that. The executive branch is a co-equal branch of government and is not. The Congress doesn't have the power to jail members of Congress, so members of the executive branch.
It reminds me when there were fantasies on the Democratic side way back in the Bush administration when they wanted to see Karl Rove frog marched out of the White House, if you remember that. Same rule applied at the time. Marc Thiessen, thank you, and have a good weekend.
Always.
With all the talk